Does anyone else like absolutely love this song? Because like it's my favourite at the moment. I've like rediscovered the Beyonce vibes. Today I'm going to be doing hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of a full day of eating, because a lot of people always ask me to do full days of eating, and I'm never kind of like in the house all the time to kind of like show you, and sometimes it's just really not interesting. But today is a bit more of an interesting day because I've got a refeed. So I have 2 refeeds a week, and like I said in my previous video before, me and Adam like to structure our refeeds. So obviously a refeed is giving you a certain amount of calories extra, and I want to show you kind of the foods I have on a refeed day, because people are like, do you have a cheat meal or do you have extra food of what you already have? I kind of do both at the moment because I'm so many weeks away from when I'm next going to be competing. I kind of like on my refeed days like to just be a little bit more flexible, a bit more fun. So I tend to have foods that I kind of want versus just having extra food. So I'll have like, today I've got some fun foods that I will be showing you. That's why I kind of just wanted to show you. And then I'm going to do a before and kind of like an after as well. So you can see my physique change. So I just did a video of today. It's not my check-in day today, but I just wanted to check in because sometimes I just pose if I feel good in the mornings. I usually pose most mornings, if I'm honest, like at the moment, just so I can keep up to date with my posing and stuff. But I will show you that video now of what I look like at the moment. Also show you a video of me after, and then usually 2 days after is when I drop my refeed weight that I gain, if that makes sense. So enough rambling, I need to eat because this food is going to go really cold otherwise. So boring meal to start off with. I've just got some eggs, mushrooms, ketchup, vitamins. So I've got a probiotic, digestive enzyme, CLA, omega-3s, vitamin D. That's also a vitamin T tablet, and then a multivitamin, and then I've got a large coffee. So I'm going to eat this, and then in about an hour or an hour and a half, I will be eating my next meal.
A few moments later.
Let's get this party started. Next meal is going to be something fun, like I said earlier. So yesterday, well, for ages I've really wanted pancakes. And Max had the brilliant idea of making French toast pancakes. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna do this whole style of pancake of you dip it obviously like you would for French toast. So I'm gonna try that, put some fun creations on it like Biscoff, some ice cream, and loads of other bits. This is like a cheaper version of Biscoff's bread, but it actually tastes the exact same as Biscoff, so why not? I'm gonna put it on here. I've got some Professor Nuts low calorie peanut butter, which is my absolute fave. This is literally, 32 grams is 28 calories. So it is literally ridiculous. Like the macros are a joke, but it's so good. This is the consistency of it. And now what we're gonna do is get some dark chocolate here, and it's got like caramel pieces in the middle. So I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So that's only 5 grams, because they don't need a lot. Then we take this, we put it on top. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Then we're gonna French toast it. Going to be risky doing it with one hand. There you go. These are going to be my random little toppings, so I'm probably going to use half of that, one of these, this, and then I'm going to have this as my topping. This is the best, whatever anyone says, this is the best Ben & Jerry's Netflix and chill. It's so good. I've literally had it like twice on my refeed days, and it's so yummy. for the gram. Let's have a quick peek inside. Meal number 2, kind of like 2, 3, about to go down. So I'm just making some veg and I have a bagel in here for my pre-workout meal. So I'm gonna be training legs today. Like I said, I always train legs on my Refeed days just because you exert more energy on legs because you're giving more effort, I feel. So I would like to put those calories to good use on a leg day versus an upper body day. So legs today. I'm just gonna have my pre-workout meal and then I will see you in a bit. Nicely freshly washed, and we're just about to have my post-workout meal. I've literally got to rush and quickly do it because I've got a client in like 40 minutes. So I'm going to be having burgers. So I'm going to be making my own burgers. So burgers, these are 5%. It says skinny on the front. I say skinny burgers. And then we've got some really nice brioche buns. They're in a bagel pack at the moment. They are brioche buns. And then we're gonna have some cheese on top. And that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm gonna be having today as my post-workout. And then I've got a few other meals to have and stuff as well. So obviously I had my pre-workout meal, which was a bagel and turkey. And today I'm kind of like I said, I'm having my refeed and I'm kind of like macro tracking. So like usually I have my normal set meals like turkey, eggs, whatever I have on my normal kind of meal plan. But today I'm kind of being a little bit more free with my just overall food in general, if that makes sense. I'll macro track the whole day versus just macro tracking the 800 calories, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean I'm literally gonna put all of my meals and have just absolute crap in it, because I'm not. Because obviously you saw earlier I still have my turkey, I still had my mince, and then I had my normal eggs as normal. So stuff like that I still am having as normal, but just being a little bit more flexible. And I'll probably have some ice cream or something later like that, because that's what I fancy. So that's why I kind of use these refeeds as just being a little bit more flexible. That's pretty much it. Cheese nice and melted, so in the microwave once you've cooked the burgers. And then we've got the brioche buns with a little bit of butter. These both aren't for me. This can be really difficult with one hand. And 2. I burnt the burger buns, which is kind of annoying, but just ignore that. Really burnt the burger buns, so just really ignore that. There we go. 2 burgers ready. Gotta put a little bit of this on because it's so good. I need to get on this. Yum, yum, yum. 1 for me, 1 for Max. Ignore the very, very burnt burger bun, but can't beat a good simple burger.
1 eternity later.
So it's now been a few hours later. We've gone for a walk and stuff, so it's quite dark outside. And it's like 9 o'clock right now. So I'm having one of my meals. It was just literally turkey and veg. And I can already hear Max coming back with the goods. Adam actually wants to increase my food again because I've dropped weight and my metabolism and my body just in general is really responding well to just with where we're at the moment. We've increased food slowly but surely from where we obviously were in prep in a dieting phase to try and like maintain where we're at. But I dropped today, which is obviously amazing, but it's weird because we want to kind of maintain where we're at. We don't want to kind of like drop anything too quickly or anything like that and lose either mass or anything like that. So Max is just coming back now with pizza. So we had burgers earlier. That was supposed to be my refeed, and he's just upped my calories another, well, on top of what I was supposed to have today, I'm having another 800 calories. So Max was going to be ordering pizza anyway, so I'm going to have a few slices of his, going to have some garlic bread, some cookie dough, and some ice cream. So I'm excited to eat what I have left of this evening. Are you ready? We got side number 1. We got the main going on. And then got cookie dough. So yeah, Adam is approving all of this. I'm not going off plan. This is actually in my plan. So yeah, we're about to dig in. And this is the final meal for today. Cheers. So to end this video, I thought I'd do a mini Q&A on refeeds and cheat meals because I did do a little Q&A box on my Instagram and you had some really, really good questions. So I want to give you guys my answer, and I do want to kind of explain why I do refeeds and stuff as well, and kind of the data behind my previous refeed that I just done. So obviously you saw like my before and my after of my refeed and stuff, and I actually only gained 1.2 kilos, which I think is like 2.5 pounds, so not a lot at all. And the thing is, what my body's at a place now where it's really enjoying these refeeds and it's getting used to kind of having this large burst of food twice a week. As you can see obviously from the video, the only really difference is obviously overall I'm just a bit fuller. So obviously my muscles are full of glycogen, and obviously my waist is a little bit bigger because I have like 4,500 calories in my tummy. So I don't look at it as a bad thing, or I don't feel guilty from these refeeds, because I purely look at this as data. I don't get frustrated if the scales go up because I know the reason it's gone up, because I have had larger amount of food on my refeed day, if that makes sense. One of the questions was like, how do you not feel guilty after having either a cheat meal or refeed days or anything like that? And for me, I know the reason why the weight gain happens. So that's why I kind of take away that emotional attachment from the scales and be like, Phoebe, it's just because of this. I'm going to explain to you kind of the difference between refeeds and cheat meals. So refeeds always don't look like what I've just had. So obviously mine was a bit more fun, flexible, and it still was actually technically a refeed because I knew the calorie amount I was having. So what a refeed is when you know the structure, the calories, the macros behind your refeed. So it's more structured than a cheat meal. So a cheat meal is just having a meal off your plan, and it's just a large amount of food. You don't know the calories. Usually it's just you have what you would like. And a refeed is when you do know the calories and it's a bit more structured. So that's pretty much a simple way of explaining it, if I'm honest. I do refeeds over cheat meals because I like data. I've always preferred data over just kind of having whatever, because I like to know, okay, I had 800 calories extra on this day and my weight dropped or my weight increased and blah, blah, blah. I like to know the reasons, and I like to be just a bit more detailed, if I'm honest. So refeeds, or like I said, don't always look like the way I've just done them. So obviously I had pizza, cookies, ice cream, all that type of thing, was a lot more flexible, just purely because I know I'm not going to be competing till at least, I think now, at least August time. So I have time to be a bit more flexible with that type of thing, versus if I was deep in prep and Adam gave me a refeed, he would be a lot more structured with it and say, okay, you have a refeed of these foods, if that makes sense. So that's what the difference kind of is. And I'm now going to kind of answer a few questions on what you guys wanted to know pretty much about refeeds. So someone asked, do you always track them? Yes, because I really like data. Well, that's what obviously a refeed is you track them and you know obviously the calories that are going into it, versus a cheat meal is usually not tracked. How do I stop feeling guilty when I have food off plan? So like I said earlier, try disattach yourself from the scales, because what happens most of the time is people feel guilty because they know that their weight is going to go up. That your weight going up isn't a bad thing. There's variables why your weight will be going up. First of all, if you have obviously more food than what you usually have, your weight is obviously going to go up because it's more food than what your body's used to. And it's pretty much just the food sitting in your stomach, if I'm honest. And the second reason people feel guilty is because they feel like they are going off plan. So if you were to go off plan without your coach, obviously, without your coach's permission, then that's obviously where the guilt's going to stem from. So make sure that you do tell them when you do go off plan, so it doesn't make you feel guilty anymore. And then you can kind of figure out a plan with them what needs to go on moving forwards, if that makes sense. Another reason why people feel guilty is because sometimes people actually overeat and make themselves feel not great, and then that's where the guilt kind of happens. So usually what I do is have an evening meal. So after all of my foods, after all of my normal meals, I'll then decide, okay, what do I want my refeed calories to be? And it depends how full I am, or it depends how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling like I want, if that makes sense. So try and have all of your meals and then have your refeed meal in the evening, or your refeed calories in the evening, so it doesn't make you feel so stuffed, because you'll already be full throughout the day from your normal food, so it won't make you overeat, if that makes sense. But the main thing is obviously to not feel guilty the next morning about the scales. So try and, like I said, disattach yourself from that feeling of, oh my God, I'm gonna gain weight. You need to make sure that you're aware that you're gonna gain weight and not feel guilty over it. Do you have refeeds/cheats even when you're only in a slight deficit? So yes and no, it depends where you're at in your calorie deficit phase. So if you are losing weight each week consecutively and you're losing weight quicker than what you need to, then usually coaches would add a refeed or a cheat meal to kind of replenish your body. But it depends where you're at, if I'm honest. If you're not losing weight each week and you're not progressing, then obviously you're not going to be getting the cheat meal or a refeed. So you just kind of got to bear that in mind when you're kind of like in a deficit, if I'm honest. How does your coach decide how much you add to your refeed? If I'm honest, most of the time it is trial and error. So they could give you 1,000 calories for a refeed and it'd be way too much. Then next time they're gonna have less. They don't know what your body fully needs, and neither do you. So it's all about trial and error and adding up kind of the data to then progress on to knowing what you need to do in the future. You need to kind of experiment and get to know your body and what they like. So when I was in Denver and we did like a mini peak week 2 weeks out from my show, he gave me 450 grams of carbs in one day. I think we were like a week and a half out, and I actually dropped weight. So it was actually less than what we needed. So then next week we went up to 550 calories and I really filled out really nicely, and that was a really good look for me. So it's just a case of trial and error and seeing what your body actually works with, because no one actually knows until you try. Do you change anything on your plan when having a refeed? So this was one of the main questions that everyone's kind of been asking across the border. So typically you do not change anything for a cheat meal or a refeed day. You keep all of your meals the same. It's not like you'll replace this cheat meal or refeed meal or anything like that for anything else. You have all your same meals the same day with that on top. That's the whole point, is extra calories to kind of replenish your body. That's why it's called a refeed or a cheat meal. It's there to replenish your body and help you recover, help you put your performance better, all that type of thing. Are you more active when you have a cheat meal / refeed to limit the damage? So no, like I said in this video, I actually have my refeed days on a leg day because I know I exert more energy on leg days. So it's not a case of me burning the food off. I would prefer to put it to good use throughout my workout. So I'd like to lift heavier and perform better whilst I'm training with that extra food, if that makes sense. Try and obviously not have it on a rest day because I want to put those calories to use, if that makes sense. Sometimes people do refeeds on rest days because their body is that depleted, usually when it's like deep in prep or something like that, and they want obviously their body to take full advantage of like the glycogen and stuff, so they don't want them to use it throughout training. So if that makes sense, I could go on a tangent here and like talk about it for ages, but I do not try and do more active stuff kind of on my refeed days. I just kind of put those calories to good use throughout training more. Someone has asked, did you ever had a refeed just cheat day gone wrong? Is there something that you won't ever do again? So I don't think so, if I'm honest. Like, the worst that's ever happened is I've overeaten. Like, I've had more than what I was supposed to have, but that wasn't like during prep or anything like that. It wasn't anything like terrible. It was just me going over and having a bit more food. That was literally it. So it wasn't a case of like it'd gone wrong. Sometimes refeeds do go wrong, and obviously you have more food. So if you are deep in prep or something like that and you have more food than what your body actually needs, so then obviously your coach says, okay, let's have this, and it's more, and you spill over and you be too full, so you have to kind of like back it up a little bit. And again, that's just knowing what to do with your body and kind of adjusting as the plan goes on, if that makes sense. So no, I've never had any times where it's gone like wrong, but yeah, that's pretty much it. There's loads of other questions which I will be answering on my Instagram just separately, just because there is a lot. So, but those are kind of like what I kind of wanted to go through with you with the refeeds and cheat meals and stuff. And hopefully it gives you a little bit more information and where to put your refeeds, where to put your cheat meals and stuff like that. One of the main questions was asking, when do I put in a refeed or when do I put in a cheat meal? Kind of the signs of when you know is when your body's a little bit more depleted, it's a bit more tired, your training performance isn't as good, your sleep's not as well, like little indications like that. This goes for competing and lifestyle. If your body is kind of not recovering as well and it's not as energetic as it was and training performance isn't good, then sometimes in that case a refeed is needed, because then overall your energy is going to be better, so you're going to exert more energy. So that's, in that case, sometimes refeeds are a good choice or cheat meals are a good choice. It just depends on what your coach says. And honestly, I would always listen to your coach on what they say. I think a lot of people think when they plateau, they need a refeed, when sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes that is, but it's not always the case. So I would always listen to your coach and see what they say, because if you have a good coach that knows enough about kind of this industry and all that type of thing, then they will know what to do. So, but this for me is just my experience with cheat meals, refeeds, all that type of thing, and giving you my information, my opinion on them, and a little bit more information. So this is going to be a really, really long video. I'm really sorry again, but I hope you like the long videos, and thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, because it really helps support my channel throughout this time and all that type of thing. And hopefully I can give you some more information, and I am doing a really, really exciting video coming up, and it's super exciting. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.